everyone. Aishi Jain, and in this video, I'm going to cover the topic that is prevention of the sexual harassment at workplace. Which means that firstly, we need to understand what is a sexual harassment for knowing more about the POSH Act. For knowing the sexual harassment, its definition given under the Section 2N of POSH Act, which states that sexual harassment include any one or more of the following: physical contact or advances, a demand or request of sexual favors, making sexually colored remarks, showing pornography, and any other unwelcome physical, verbal, non-verbal conduct of sexual nature. So later on, there are the so many laws that concerning towards the sexual harassment. Section 354 of Indian Penal Code talks about assault or criminal force to a woman with the intent to outrage her modesty. Next, Section 354 of Indian Penal Code 1860 talks about sexual harassment and punishment for sexual harassment. Section 354B and 354D talks about assault or use of criminal force to a woman with the intent to dissort. And Section 354D talks about stalking. So here are the some law which talk about the punishment and the what are the sexual harassment, what are the punishment that are given to the person when he doesn't act which is not good and which is according to our law is illegal and
So now let's talk about what is a POSH Act. POSH Act is a legislation enacted by the Government of India in 2013 to address the issue of sexual harassment for women and to maintain their safety at workplace. The main aim of the POSH Act is to provide redressal to the aggrieved women, and the POSH Act is extended to the whole world. And the Supreme Court also in Vaishakha and others versus State of Rajasthan gave the guidelines which name is Vaishakha guidelines, in which Supreme Court provides some guidelines for the prevention of the women from the sexual harassment at their workplace. After knowing about what is a POSH Act, we need to know about what is definition of the workplace. So, according to the Section 2O of the POSH Act, workplace include any department, organization, undertaking, establishments, institution, office, branch, establishment owned or controlled wholly by the funds of government or local authorities. Now, we need to understand what do you mean by the employee. According to the Section 2N of POSH Act, a person employed at workplace for any work on regular, temporary, ad hoc, or daily wage basis, either with or without the knowledge of the principal debtor, then he is called as an employee. The terms and conditions for the employee may be express or implied. So after that, the definition of the aggrieved woman. According to the Section 2A of POSH Act, aggrieved woman means a woman of any age, whether employed, who alleges to have been subjected to any act of sexual harassment by the respondent. In relation to the dwelling place or house, a woman of any age who is employed in such dwelling place or house. Workplaces includes government organizations, NGOs, nursing house, farms, hospitals, corporations, societies, educational institutions, service provider and many more. Now we need to know about Internal Complaint Committee. Section 4 of POSH Act requires an employer to set up an Internal Complaint Committee at each office, branch. Internal Complaint Committee must contain 10 or more employees to hear and redress grievance pertaining to sexual harassment. ICC must include presiding officers, two members, external members are required and who have experience in social work, and not less than half of ICC members shall be women. The term of ICC shall not be exceeded to 3 years. Here are the some powers that are given to the Internal Complaint Committee of any organization. So POSH Act states that Internal Complaint Committee and the Local Complaint Committee shall have same powers as vested in a civil code under the Code of Civil Procedure 1908. Now we need to know about the complaint mechanism that is given under the POSH Act. In complaint mechanism, an aggrieved woman who intends to file a complaint required to submit 6 copies of written complaint along with supporting documents and with names and address of witnesses to ICC within the 3 months from date of incident. ICC can extend the timeline the complaint for the reason to be recorded in writing. The law also make provision for friends, relatives, worker, psychologist, psychiatrist, etc. to file complaint in situation where the aggrieved woman is not in a condition to file a complaint, such like an incapacity of physical incapacity, mental incapacity, and death.